meaning of life is expression, and that's it. You can be satisfied with this answer and not see the rest of the video, because the meaning of this illusion that we are trapped in is expression. Expression itself without judgment of what this expression really is. We are all expressions. I express a woman, something else expresses a thing, an object, and there are things that express nature. Everything is an expression of this oneness, of this stillness, of this holiness that sees itself with its endless, countless, beautiful, horrifying expressions. This oneness, inside it, is complete, whole, and still, but the expression is very much alive. And this is the reason that we believe that we are alive, so that we can express liveness. Liveness is the way we express ourselves. So it appears that there is an illusion of life. Everything around us is the illusion of living things. The only living thing in reality is this oneness. It is very much alive. It has always been there and will always be the only thing. And these expressions are just passing in its great big field, which is very, very narrow, because the point of this stillness, you cannot imagine how small it is, how condensed it is. It is the purest, purest essence of all this great, endless expression of reality. So when we talk about what is the meaning in our lives, what is life? Life is an expression. And each and every one of us is a unique expression of something. It can be everything and everyone. The beautiful thing about this expression, that much like the fingerprints, it is very, very specific and unique to each form. It is critical for the forms to be unique and separate in order to create the illusion of this reality, because in this reality there are different shapes and they connect to each other in endless ways. So there is a movement. There cannot be a movement between one thing and itself. And this is why this one thing, this quietness, emptiness, or nothingness, is creating in this moment this grand, amazing illusion. The story of us, of the human race, of each individual, is a very difficult story, because we have to react on every moment to everything and everyone. This is hard work just to be alive in this world. And on top of that, we add the surprise element that reality so generously presents us time after time. We want control over our lives. We want to decide what happens. We know what the best story for this character is, and reality doesn't play along. She knows better than us, and she is forcing us, this reality, to confront ourselves and others and circumstances. And we don't want to do that because we know that it is wrong. This is not the life I was supposed to be living. I'm better than that. I don't deserve this kind of challenge. I want to control the story. And we miss the point that the meaning of our lives lies in our lives and in these challenges. This story was decided by us in this moment, because there is no other moment, there is no future or past, this is the only living moment. And inside it, we decided that this will be the line that we tell ourselves as this separate form, and we already decided on those challenges, surprises, sometimes bad things, in order for us to express ourselves. So the only meaning life has is the expression of how we deal with what is happening in our lives. How do we cope with everything that happens? And we can cope in different ways, and each way is an expression. You have to choose which is the best expression that fits you and fits your life. You have to choose what kind of an expression do you want to be. This is the meaning of your life. You are an expression. What kind of an expression? Are you an expression of despair, of giving up, of thinking that everyone is out to get me every time? This reality is playing with me so cruelly. If you do that, you take the responsibility from yourself and throw it somewhere on God or this all nothingness, and you say, this was not me. If it was up to me, I would decide a different story. But this is not true. You already decided that this will be a story. The only thing you can do is express how you react to it, and mostly how you react to the hard parts. Because the hard parts are the parts that makes you a better expression, a deeper expression, a more compassionate expression, if you can take the opportunity and jump into the difficulty that is presented to you. If it is a financial difficulty, it offers a challenge to you. How do you deal with that? And feeling like a victim of something else, of this great plan that was not mine, it was the divine will that I will suffer. If you fall into this place and you act like a victim, then you express a victim. And I don't think that this is the most evolved expression you can be. And I speak about evolvement because you can be any kind of expression that you want. It is still life. You are still doing your part. But inside this expression of life, you can try to see if you are originally, in your plan, didn't plan for yourself to be something else through these difficulties. Yes, some people will see the difficulties in their lives, see the hardship, their challenges, their anxiety, the suffering that they suffer, and just be furious that this is happening to them, and be angry about themselves and everything. And this is an expression. But if they will choose to look inside this thing that is happening to them, and try to act differently inside that, they will be more evolved expression, because just much like a tree has different stages in its development. It can be very small, it could be a seed, and it can be just a tree without leaves. It can be a tree with leaves, and it can be a tree with fruits. So the best way, the most evolved way for a tree to show itself is when it gives fruit and it's blossoming and blooming and giving shade to others and food to others. So it is amazing. It is a beautiful expression of a tree. It doesn't make the tree that is bented and doesn't give fruit less a tree. It is also a tree. Every expression is valid and has a part in your life, in this reality. All of us are this expression playing together this oneness. But if you want to see your true colors, to see your full potential, to see the highest expression you can be, so you have to be evolved like the tree, to give your fruit, to aspire to go up, to grow. So the expression is more open, full and beautiful. Doesn't make it more important than an expression of something else. The expression of someone who feels he's a victim of his circumstances is not less important than a very evolved person who is living and giving to others. Both of them have the same weight in this reality. None. All these expressions, all of us, are just a metaphor, an idea, something that doesn't really happen. Expressing ourselves as separate forms is something we do, whether we want to do it or not. And every reaction we react to something, and every action we take is part of this expression. So you can look and you can see the meaning of life itself, of this whole thing, of this whole reality. Everything is you and your reaction and your specific, unique way of expressing it. Because there is nothing other than you. You have to know that, because you can only believe what you see with your own eyes and feel with your body. So you cannot believe that there are other people and there is reality, because you cannot sense that or feel that or know that as a fact. The only thing that you can know for sure, that you see and you perceive through this separate form. So the conclusion is that this separate form, your separate form, is the only form that exists. And when this is the situation, you are the meaning of this whole thing, of this whole reality. You are the shaper of it, and through you, it is expressing itself. Every reaction, everything else has to you, and the entire universe is a reaction of your perception of reality. This is why it's so important to be an evolved expression, because you basically decide what this world will look like. It's a lot of responsibility, no? This is it. This is what it is. How you perceive and express yourself in the world is reflected and in an infinite way, and influences endless parameters in this non-existent reality, because it can. So, you are an expression. This reality is built through your expression. You give the meaning to this life. You are the meaning of this life. What kind of life and world do you want to see around you? What kind of level do you want to get to? So if you want it to be evolved, you have to do this evolvement yourself. And this is how you will save everything around you. This is redemption. It is not happening to many people. It is happening to just one specific entity that is redeeming everything else just by redeeming itself, just by understanding itself. And so redeeming ourselves comes through understanding who we are, and understanding who we are is understanding that we are this expression. We decided on this timeline in the story, and it is only in the way that we react to our own story in actions, in physical and powerful actions, and by accepting it mentally in a healthy way. Just how we react to what is happening is the evolution of all mankind and all this reality. This is why it's so important for each individual to try to get to a balanced place first. First, to try to balance himself through any kind of method that is used now to balance a person, to get to a point where the problems are in control. They are not solved, but they're in control. And after it, try to see how you accept the fact that you created your reality, this reality, the only reality. And it is very important how you express it. So life is a unique expression of each individual. In this thought, you can be more loving to yourself, because you are so important, because you are so valuable. This is everything. You can have enormous compassion to others through giving compassion to yourself, accepting who you are, accepting your story, accepting the place that you stand in right now, and trying to express it in the most beautiful, compassionate, brave, humorous way you can. Just deal with everything that happens with this strong belief that you are it. You are this thing that is expressing itself. You decided that you will have this challenge. Now, see, like in a movie, how the character deals with it, and do it in an inspirational way, a way that helps you and can help others. It's not only your trial, it's not only your problem. Your problems are the problems of humanity itself, and they are not a problem. Every problem you have is only a metaphorical problem, an idea of something. And when you understand that these problems are not real, they are just here to allow you to express yourself, how you deal with them, what comes out of you when you bravely address them and try to solve them in an inspirational way, in such a way that shows others that it can be dealt with. So there are two levels: the absolute reality, in which when you address your challenges as the separate being that is evolving, everyone is being redeemed with you, with your self-realization. And the other level is the level that humanity is living in right now, the physical world, in which when you address your problems and challenges and express yourself through the challenges in a high way, in an evolved way, you set an example for everyone around you, and you make this reality rise with you, and everything evolves. So when you address yourself and understand this importance or significance of you, yourself, and the way you express this life, when you do that, anyway, you help everything and everyone, and primarily yourself. And you want to help yourself because you are that thing. You want it to show itself, to express itself in the most beautiful, high way it can, evolved way it can. What this world needs. You are the world itself. You are this holiness itself. You are the meaning of life. You are it. What kind of life do you want to express?
Nothing good, nothing bad, nothing